Dela's Voice has been made possible by the generosity of sponsors like you. Every single person in this world has a story to share. Your story is your superpower, and it's unique to you. In sharing it with the world, you can impact millions of people. If you keep it to yourself, you are doing the world a disservice. This is Dela. I'm the host of Dela's Voice, and I help you share your superpower with the world. Hello and welcome to this Candid Conversations on Dela's Voice. Metaverse. What is it? Does it scare you or does it excite you? We'll be right back. Stay with me. So on October of this year, the CEO of Facebook announced a rebranding of Facebook to the word Meta. And all of a sudden, we hear everywhere, Metaverse, 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 Metaverse. So of course, I get curious and I want to know what that means. And it turns out that it's not so new. So today we are going to dive a little deep into this whole metaverse thing and what it means and what does it mean for us? What does it mean in our lives? And there are some questions that I am going to try and answer. Things like, should we care? How will it impact our lives? What are NFTs and how are they used? And so I hope that you are along with me for this ride, and I hope that this topic interests you. And you never know. I mean, you might already know about this more than I do. So in which case, I am counting on you to call in the show and give us the information that you have. Or you might totally be oblivious to this, and today is your chance to find out a little bit more. And I also want to know, how do you feel about this whole thing? What does it make you feel? Does it scare you? Does it excite you? Do you feel like this is something to look forward to? Or do you feel like this world is coming to an end as a result of this? So I really want to find out from you. I want to take a pulse. Metaverse, scary or exciting? So I went looking for the meaning of metaverse, and I want to share that with you. Metaverse. The word metaverse is actually not new. It's just something that I think rings for us new because we just keep hearing about it ever since Mark Zuckerberg announced it, that Facebook is going to become Meta. He says, I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet. So I think that's really important to look into, right? That's going to be the way our lives are going to be. Metaverse is not to be confused with multiverse. Multiverse is a reality where multiple parallel universes are possible. Metaverse is a virtual reality space in which users can interact with one another in a computer-generated environment. The word meta is from the Greek, which means beyond. And so to me, metaverse just means beyond this universe? So the word actually metaverse was coined by a book that was published in 1992, and we'll come back to that in a second. But simply put, if you imagine the contemporary internet experience as a two-dimensional, meaning you browse and you scroll through a screen or like on your phone or on a tablet or on a computer, the metaverse is a 3D version. So I guess you could imagine it like this: you'll be walking through this computer generated environment via connected headsets or glasses. Cool, huh? I think so. I think so. So, is it new? Well, hardly. Remember I said about that book that was published in 1992? The book was called Snow Crash. Snow Crash was written by a guy named Neil Stevenson. And so he coined the term metaverse in 1992, a long time ago. In this book, the character spends most of his time in this metaverse. So that's where it started. So it's hardly new because we already are using it. MMORPG, massively multiplayer online role playing games, are already being used all the time. If you have gamers in your life, my son loved playing video games, not anymore, but I know lots of people who enjoy it. And so these are interactive games that form really the basis of what many feel will be the metaverse, because what's happening is millions of people around the world are interacting in this shared space. They're playing games, they're building things, and they're visiting virtual shops, and they're even going to concerts. They're using avatars as themselves. So I mean, examples of these games, there are so many. I think some that you might have heard of: Fortnite, Minecraft. These are really popular, right? And so we're already using this. Oculus and Horizon workrooms. I don't know if you've heard of these. Facebook bought Oculus for over $2 billion back in 2014. Now, Oculus has been the leading virtual reality platforms for many years. So it may now be the portal for many hoping to peek at Facebook's vision for the metaverse. And Facebook has also already introduced a virtual work experience called Horizon Workrooms. And it's really cool. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a sort of a virtual reality version of Zoom. And you have avatars with no legs. So you are actually present in this workroom as your avatar. Now, all this might be a little too science fiction for a lot of people. But let's keep an open mind. I'm going to go to an article that I found on USA Today. It seems like not just Facebook, but a lot of other companies are going to try and create a metaverse. I am looking at Microsoft. Microsoft is already using holograms and is developing mixed and extended reality. It's called XR applications with its Microsoft Mesh platform, which combines the real world with augmented reality and virtual reality. Earlier, this article was hang on, let me just see here. Oh, I forgot to check the date of this article, but it's recent, quite recent, after the launch of Meta. Earlier, I guess it would be this past month, Microsoft showed off its plans for bringing mixed reality, including holograms and virtual avatars, to Microsoft Teams in 2022. Because Microsoft is really just focusing, not just, but mainly focusing on workspaces. Also, in the works for next year, they are looking at explorable 3D virtual connected spaces for retail and workplaces. The US Army is already currently working with Microsoft on an augmented reality HoloLens 2 headset for soldiers to train, rehearse, and fight in. Beyond that, Xbox Live already connects millions of video game players across the globe too. So we're familiar with Xbox. So that was Microsoft. Now, Epic Games. This is the company that developed Fortnite. Tim Sweeney, the CEO of the company that developed Fortnite, has said this about Epic Games, that it's no secret that Epic Games is invested in building the metaverse. It's held concerts by the likes of Ariana Grande and Travis Scott. Now, I saw this. So Ariana Grande, as an avatar, had a concert in Metaverse. It's really quite fascinating. They've also done something really cool. This is an immersive experience. So what they've done is they have created this, I guess, this metaverse that can take you to the scene of Martin Luther King's 1963 historic "I Have a Dream" speech. So you can actually go there and watch this whole speech unfold. I, I just I'm blown away by all of this. I mean, this is so creative. Where are we going with this? I'm going to take a moment and look at the comments and see if you have something to say. Steve says, Meta is super scary, but Facebook has been scaring me for the last several years. How so, Steve? Maybe you can call the show. Here's my take on this. I mean, it might be scary. If you had asked me 20 years ago, I would say you're crazy. That I'd be sitting here in front of this camera, having a Facebook Live, getting my voice heard. I think for a lot of us, and I'm not the only one, this platform, technology, social media has been the reason why I've been able to get my voice heard. So I'm pretty open to technology, and I mean I understand that your hesitation might come from a logical place, but let's hear it. If you can call the show, I'm going to open the lines in 10 minutes and you can call the show and let's hear about this. Let's continue, shall we? This is all new to me. I think the reason why I chose this topic is because it really, really interested me. At the same time, I knew nothing about it. And so I think in a way, I'm doing myself a favor by picking this topic because allows me, it forces me actually to go and look deeper, and it allows me to explain it to you so that way I can find out if I really get it myself. So remember how I said it's not new, and you heard already where other places that are using it. There's another place called, and this is another metaverse called Second Life. Now, Google this if you like for yourself. This is an online virtual world introduced in 2003, long time ago. Second Life is an early example of social experiences in the metaverse. Although it's not quite like those massively multiplayer online role playing games, the MMORPG, because it's not designed for gameplay. But Second Life It remains an open social network with avatars. I looked online to see what Second Life was. It's actually really cool. It's a little sketchy, but go ahead and look for it yourself. This metaverse might resemble a virtual reality version of Second Life. So this non-fungible tokens. Have you heard of non-fungible tokens, NFTs? Now, a while ago, I put out a post on Facebook and invited anyone, anyone who could explain what non fungible tokens were in simple words. I said, is there anyone who can explain what NFTs mean, like you would explain to a 7-year old? I went searching. Simply put, NFTs are objects, but online. NFTs give us a way to have clear ownership over digital items. So the same way you own a table, in your physical world, you could own a digital art piece, for example. So consider how they would be different and the same, right? For physical objects, like, for example, collectible cards. Do you collect cards? Like my kid used to collect Pokemon cards. And my brother used to collect baseball cards or NBA cards. So how is it different and how is it the same? So collectible physical items, the value changes, right? Based on what other people are willing to pay for it. Same for collectible digital items. Value changes based on what other people are willing to pay for. With physical items, like collectible physical items, there's security features like holographic stickers, special paper, or other, hidden elements that only collectors know. Same. There's also security features in the digital items. There's unique data added to a digital work that authenticates it. For collectible physical items, you can buy, you can sell, you can trade them, or you can give them to anyone you like, right? As a gift. For digital items, you can buy them, you can sell them, you can trade them, or you can give NFTs to anyone online. You can use it, I guess, could you use it as currency? I think so. A network of computer must verify the trade and the unique data. So that's how it's done. I thought that was really cool. How do you appear in the metaverse? What happens to you? What happens to us in the metaverse? We appear as an avatar. You know what an avatar is? Is your persona in a virtual world. So it's like a digital rendering of your appearance that may look like you, like resemble a cartoon. Oh, you know what? What am I talking about? We are already using them. You know those Bitmojis that we use on all our social media posts? You got it. That's what your avatar may look like. Pick wisely. That's all I'm saying. Of course, in some of these games like Fortnite, they're a little more fantastical. Like I don't know, they're like skins. They wear skins or stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty cool. You can make up your avatar. Glenda says, sci-fi was the dream and now people are making it a reality. Yeah, right? Yes, exactly. And Marianne says, I think that's exciting. Why is that exciting? Like what excites you the most about this? What do you see happening? I bet you when you think about this, you think of the opportunities, you think of what's possible, the possibilities, and that's probably what's exciting you. And if it's scary for you, then why? Like what is it that scares you the most about this? Yeah, let's hear your opinions on this. I'm really excited to hear your opinions on this. According to this article I read on the conversation. There are 5 things you need to know about this whole thing. Number 1, you need to know about the virtual world. Okay. So this is the most important characteristics of a metaverse. You could explore it using a computer, a gaming console, your mobile, wearable technology, or other devices. And then it allows you to experience this all this 3D graphics and sound along the way. The idea is that it makes you feel more present in the metaverse and presumably less present in the everyday world where your body stubbornly remains. But it is a virtual world. Number 2, virtual reality. So for this, you need a virtual reality headset. So whether those headsets or glasses, I'm imagining this technology is going to progress, and it's going to be easier and easier and easier to jump into this virtual reality. The idea is that you become immersed in the virtual world so that you feel even more present, unless you bump into a wall or something in your physical environment and you're like, oh, shoot, I'm not really there. But I think I think they're going to take care of that too, with time. The third thing to know is that there are going to be other people. The metaverse is social. There's lots of other people there, and they're going to be represented as avatars also. Some of these avatars are they'll be like bots, so not representation of humans, but they're bots. They're going to be virtual agents. That reminds me of that movie, The Matrix. And they're going to be manifestations of artificial intelligence, of AI. You can hang out with other people or even do things together. I think this is where Facebook is really interested in, because after all, they're social network company, right? So I think they're going to really hone in on this whole social aspect of metaverse, that connection that with other people. So imagine, you put on your headset, you jump into virtual reality, you go visit Rome, and then you send me a message and say, Della, do you want to join me in Rome for a couple of hours of sightseeing? And I say, yes, I accept. I put on my headset and I meet you right in Rome, or something like that. That's my vision. Um, Metaverse fans and some researchers believe communication may be more natural than video conferencing. So, right now we're doing a lot of Zoom. In the past year and a half, we've been doing a lot of Zoom. We've had to. We've had to, right? We've had to get used to this technology. Coincidence? This is all very weird. Anyways, so imagine with this new metaverse technology, we're actually going to be able to sit in the same space where our avatar will, and you can use I don't know, your facial expression to show who you're addressing. Maybe your avatar will turn its head towards the person you're actually talking to, instead of just like looking at a screen, right? Your avatar can actually walk over and sit next to someone else's avatar to start a conversation. I think that's really cool. You can, I mean, let your imagination take you away on this. The fourth thing to know is that This virtual world is available whenever you want to visit it. It's persistent. It doesn't go away. It stays there. So you can change it by adding new features, new virtual buildings, new objects to your world. Um, but it stays there. So it never changes and it doesn't go away unless you want to change it. You might be able to take up residence and own a bit of it. I'm sure that's something to come, where you can own virtual land. So the metaverse will rely on your user generated content, so your digital creations and your personal stories. I think the same way social media already does it today. So there, your own creation comes in, same as now. It's just going to be a little deeper, I think, more real looking. The fifth thing to know is that there's a connection to the real world. In some visions of metaverse, the virtual stuff in the virtual world actually represents real stuff in the real world. I'm going to give you an example. So you might fly a metaverse drone to steer an actual drone in the real world. And so, you hear people talking about digital twins. That's what they mean. The real and the virtual as being twins. There's still so much to learn about this. So much. So, what can we do in the metaverse and how soon? Different corporations, not just Facebook or Meta, they have their own visions, even local versions of the metaverse. But like the internet, they will all be connected. So you can move from one to the other. So it's not like you're only stuck in Meta and not able to jump to other metaverses. It's likely that some things are going to be more immediately appealing and practical than others. So, like playing video games, we're already doing that. And it seems a reasonable leap, as many gamers already do enjoy online gaming. And some games, to a degree, have already entered the metaverse. No, there's no wonder that gamers love gaming so much. We look at a gamer who plays games all the time, and unless you have played the game yourself, you don't know what they're enjoying and what they're saying. I've never played video games, but going through these articles and reading about all of this and really digging a little deeper into this world, I can see how people can spend a lot of time playing video games. It's a way for them to connect to one another. And we're talking millions of people across the world who are playing these video games together. They're creating together, they're playing together, they are interacting. Nobody's judging another person in these virtual worlds. There's a certain level of acceptance that's non existent in the real world. And I think I can understand how this escape might seem so appealing to a lot of people. The idea of being able to socialize or meet with others and feel like you're actually there with them in person, it's also appealing, particularly during this pandemic age. Seemed like a weird timing, doesn't it? That's all I'm saying. I'm going to check out the comments. Marianne says, yes, possibilities. Starting with what you just said takes you back into the place you wished you had been at. Right? I mean, this possibility to me is huge because not a lot of people have the means right now in this real world to go places. I want to travel the world, but I may not be able to do that in my lifetime. But this way, I might be able to. Michael says, as a brain injury survivor, technology allows me to connect with the outside world. Absolutely. I get that. Marianne says, who even knows what they will do with it? Let's enjoy their journey. I agree with you that it exactly. So honestly, we don't know. We don't know where this is going. There are no guarantees. Obviously, there aren't any, and it's not like it's going to happen tomorrow. It will. It will take years, and I think it's just like anything else. They will introduce it to us so slowly that we won't even know it's happening, just like any everything else. And there's going to be pushbacks, right? And like everything else, there's going to be people who will embrace it. TKK says, scary. It's not real. You have kids. Do they play video games? Ask them how real they think it is. Deborah says, not completely sure yet if I'm going to like it or not. For now, I have to say, not excited. I hear you. There's a lot that's beyond our physical limitations. Absolutely. And this metaverse will allow us to, of course, surpass that and do what's not possible in the real world. Deborah says, we are already way too disconnected from reality as it is, but time would tell. Marianne says, I use an avatar in my real estate brokerage. EXP is cloud based. Yes. And I know you're very excited about this real estate brokerage. And so is your avatar the same as the one you use on social media? When I was looking into this Meta, as explained by Facebook CEO, they were talking about having three possible avatars. So one would be, your social media avatar. One would be the work face, and what would be the one fun one, right? Like, I'm going to be Wonder Woman. And so we can have multiples. Pay attention to the avatar you make, because you may just get stuck with it, right? Mahout says people spend first 5 minutes of every meeting to agree on their background image during virtual meetings. That's funny. You know what? It's so true, right? It's so true. We are getting into this. I mean, how many of you have played with these virtual backgrounds on Zoom? We do spend a lot of time discussing them, and they're becoming a part of our everyday life without us noticing, really, without us really noticing how it happened. It is happening. There says, I think it's also a way to disconnect from real people in one's life. I guess you could use it as an escape, couldn't you? You could. There's so much to discuss, right? You know what? All this technology, as much as it looks like it's a part of our lives, and we kind of bask in the glory of, oh, we are so technologically savvy. There, we are so behind. I'm not behind. I shouldn't say behind. We have a long way to go. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And so, if you haven't watched this little video put out by Facebook, it's a very simple explanation of what their vision is. And I mean, just watch it, right? Just watch it for your own information. It may just spark something in you. I don't know. To me, it's all very exciting. I like this. I like this idea. I do. I'm open to it. But again, I want to keep an open mind. Um, I'm hearing all about cryptocurrencies, and up to 10 years ago, I thought it was just impossible. I thought it was just someone's imagination working overtime. And today, Bitcoins, Ethereums are being sold, and everybody's talking about it, and it's becoming a really normal investment. And if you ask me, I still don't understand how that works, But maybe that's another talk for another candid conversation. But if you have information on things like this, come on the show and talk. We're always looking for people with information with their expertise. So all I'm asking is please explain it like you would explain it to a 7-year-old, like my friend Colleen says, because that's the best way to for people to understand. Imagine it's your grandma's birthday and you're all the way across the world. They're having a birthday party and you are able to virtually be there, not across the screen, but actually appear in that room where everybody else is as a hologram and be in that space. Imagine playing a chess game with someone across the world on a virtual chessboard superimposed on a real world, like on a park bench or something like that. Can you imagine that? Imagine being able to escape the stress, the anxiety of what is happening in the moment around you by putting on a pair of glasses and all of a sudden finding yourself on Mount Everest or overlooking a serene ocean. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I'm excited about this. I guess my take on this is that just like anything else, it will take time and it will take an open mind to get used to this new ideas. We've learned from the past that change happens whether we like it or not. I think this new virtual reality world is on its way. It is coming. How long it will take, I don't know. What I want to see happen is that people are getting involved consciously and they are more conscientious about creating this virtual world for themselves and using it to benefit the entire human race and not just a few. Is that a simplistic view um, on the world? I don't know. Maybe. But it's definitely my wish. Deborah says, if the video games took my son away from our family, maybe it won't happen with business. Deborah, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you want to come on the show and tell us what happened? Tracy says, it's a bit scary. Mahmoud says, Mount Everest, that's scary. Yeah, or go anywhere you like. Glenda says, nothing ever replaces hugs. It's true. It's true. We've experienced this in the past couple of years. Again, what crazy timing. Conspiracy? I don't know. I don't know. However you look at it. Tracy is a nurse, and that just reminded me. I saw something on Metaverse, and it was about digital medical procedures. I think they're already doing that. I think in the future they're looking at doing this remotely. Um, I mean, that's a crazy thought, but they're using this technology to train medical professionals like surgeons and doctors to learn and train. They're using this technology for pilots. They're using this technology, like we saw before, for to train the army. And so there's a lot of good that can come out of this technology. I think it's just anything else. There's going to be people in the world who are going to take advantage of anything. You can use it for the good and you can use it for the bad. So I think It's not the technology that's bad. That's what I'm getting at. I think it's the people, it's the way we use it. Marianne says, I know one thing, COVID time would have been scary without Zoom. I agree. Yes. This would have been impossible to, I don't know. I shouldn't say impossible. I mean, we're human beings. We're so adaptable and we're just so we're very flexible. We can do anything. We and I'm sure, and we've history has told us that we've gone through worse and we've survived. And so, but definitely Zoom came in at the right time. It was there before, but I think it took the pandemic for the shares to skyrocket. So we used Zoom to stay connected. Absolutely. I don't know if I would not have been able to get here if it weren't for social media. That's all I'm saying. So if Facebook wasn't here, if YouTube wasn't here, if Zoom wasn't here, if StreamYard wasn't here, all these different social media platforms and this technology wasn't available to me, I would not have Dela's voice right now. I would still have no voice. I would not have found my voice. So I am very grateful for all of this technology. And I think anytime there's change, we are scared because it takes us out of our comfort zone, and we are human, so we keep thinking about the worst things that could happen. And it's I think it's okay to think about those things. I think it's okay to be realistic and to keep our eyes open and not be fooled. That's what I'm saying. Uh, but also be willing to keep an open mind and say, let's see what can come out of this. I know personally, I'm going to come from a loving place in using the technology, whatever that may be. And I'm going to, oh, Marianne's calling. Hold on. Let me answer this call.
Hi, Dela.
Hi, Marianne.
I've never called in. I didn't know you were doing this. Well, so now I think this is exciting. I don't really know that much about this subject. I just, you know how I feel about technology. I'm terrified of it.
Yes, yes.
I'm terrified of working on it, not it. I think it is fascinating. Mm-hmm. And I love what it's brought to us. And yes, I didn't mean that COVID created Zoom. I just meant without something like Zoom, it would have been tough, right?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You're so right. But Marianne, you said yes, the technology, when it's unknown, it scares us, right?
Right.
I mean, think back at when smartphones just came out. And I remember so many people being so defensive. Oh no, I'm not touching that. Right. And now our 80-year-old grandmas are texting and Zooming and FaceTiming. Right.
Right. And it's like we're a holograph when we're talking with people. I mean, I love that. I remember the days. I was 6 years old when I came here. I'm 59 now. So 6 years old when I came to Canada, my parents were paying an arm and a leg to call back to Europe. Like, it was crazy. Every week they spoke to their family, and it was a huge expense. Like, long distance was like a nightmare. And now you can get on Facebook and you can video chat with people for free all day long if you want. And, I mean, we can say whatever we want about Facebook. It only broke down that one time for the whole day. And we were all like, what are we going to do without this?
Yeah.
Right?
Once we get used to doing it, then it's hard to lose it, right? That's a thing.
Yeah, like even playing solitaire on a computer is so much fun. That's actually when I first learned how to use a computer. That's how my instructor told me. He goes, just use it for solitaire. He goes, get comfortable with the computer.
Yeah.
And whatever else they're going to do is going to be super uncomfortable.
It will
And
be.
Yeah, it's like to me, it's like every single other thing. How you handle change in one way is how you handle change in another. So people who
Mm.
don't like change are going to have a hard time with it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's not easy, that's for sure. I mean, I'm going to be 60 in February. You know what? That's like, I did not have computers in school, so when a 30-year-old comes along and they're like, "Zzz," you
That's because
know,
they were born with cables attached to them.
texting texting at the speed of light,
Yeah.
and and using all this, but I was going to ask you, what is NFTs? Because I missed it. I was outside in the park when you started, and then I went into the underground parking, and so I missed a portion. Did you discuss NFTs? Because I don't know anything about
Yes,
them.
very, very basic. I just said that NFTs, they are non-fungible tokens.
Hmm.
And so they're like digital items that you
Money.
own. So the
Hmm.
same way you collect, what is it you collect? What is it you love to collect, Marianne? I know there's something you love to collect. Where is it? Oh, the
I don't.
Pandora.
No,
No,
not really.
no, no. No, what is it you love?
I
That
like Tiffany. I don't
Tiffany.
mind Pandora, but I like Tiffany better.
That's right.
I don't.
I knew it was some kind of jewel.
I'd like to collect Tiffany.
So you love Tiffany. So imagine just digital Tiffany jewelry on in Metaverse.
Right. For now, I like the bracelets on my hands and the necklaces.
And you could wear those bracelets on your hand, on your avatar hand when you
I
go
think
into
that's
Metaverse.
cool.
Yeah, yes, yes. And you know what? Big companies like Gucci has gotten
Mhm,
involved.
mhm.
I mean, this is crazy. It's I'm telling you, when I started going deeper into this, I mean, it's like a black hole. The more you read, the more you know that you know nothing. And so there is so much. But the thing is, if we close our eyes, and this will happen anyways. And so big companies are getting involved in this, and this is the way future business is going to be. I really truly believe that. And I
Yes,
and I
future
know you're a
business and future
businesswoman.
life. Yes. And for a non-techie person, I decided, and I do, when I say I'm terrified of having to learn technology, absolutely. I also believe that I don't need to know every single thing.
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't need to be some expert. And yeah, I don't think you need to be an expert in everything, but technology as a general rule, if I know I have to learn something, sometimes it's exciting if it's, short and small and whatever, but I'm a big fan of hiring people to do things for me. So and if this is their passion, and if this is, you know, what they're good at and they enjoy it, why wouldn't I? Why would I want to do
Yeah.
anything?
Per
But yeah, for a techie person, I decided to go to a cloud-based, the only cloud-based brokerage in the entire world.
Of course,
That's the
why
one I
not?
chose.
That explains things. That's the universe's way of pushing you.
That's right. Right. So you just embrace, and then, things that are like that, right?
Yeah.
Radio stations, radio shows, podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. But so you're excited, and you're looking forward to this thing unfolding.
I think so, yes. I don't know about NFTs. I'm not sure how I feel about those just yet. I think they're okay, I suppose. You know what? There's still a choice. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, in my lifetime, there'll probably still be a choice.
Mhm.
You can have this or you can have that.
Yes.
I like the choice. I like avatars. They're fun to work with once you figure them out. Um,
Have you been into a virtual workspace with your avatar
oh
or
yeah,
not?
we have that's how we do our when I first joined the company, I had 3 months of boot camp, and my presence within the classroom was an avatar. So we were at EXP University, and my avatar, I learned how to walk, I learned how to sit.
That is the
I had to go up
coolest.
on stage when I finished the program and take my
That
certificate.
is the coolest thing ever.
So
I
I
love.
had to learn how to walk up the stairs. I
Yeah.
had to we get to dress it, so it's like a full body. And yeah, it's just within that space. It's not an avatar I can share outside of that space. But yeah, it's really quite cool. Yeah.
That's so cool. And so imagine having this opportunity where you can show up in your hologram and actually, like, your hologram is in that space and like getting
Mhm.
its certificate. I think that is so cool.
Right? I don't know. I think all of technology is very cool. Like I said, it doesn't all have to pertain to me. I'm not a big gamer. Um, I'm not at all. So I don't really understand that part, but I do know that people who do are excited
Yes.
and love it.
Yes.
And, who knows how many people who are not able to move around, whether they're in a wheelchair, whether
Mhm.
they're, whatever, whether it's a financial situation, but you can basically participate in numerous things
Everything.
in the world.
Absolutely.
And I
And
just got asked to speak in Dubai, and I'm like, "How am I gonna speak in Dubai?" And then Paris, and I'm like, "But we're gonna do it virtually."
that's right.
So, yeah,
That's
well, I
right.
mean, I could go there, but I just for this particular year, I'm gonna pass on going somewhere, but for right now.
I think that's amazing that we can do that. We have this opportunity. We have this possibility of being everywhere in the
Right?
world. I think it's fantastic. Thank you for contributing to the show. That's
Isn't it
awesome.
fun? Thanks for having me.
Of
How do I
course.
disconnect, honey?
So
Do you just hang up on me?
I just hang up on you. I can do that.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, Marianne. I love you. Thank
I
you.
love you too.
Bye.
Have a great day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye. So yes, I agree. I'm excited. I think we need to wait and see what's going to happen. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see this world changing. We're changing with it. Our values don't change though, right? Our values stay the same. We just use the technology to live better. That's how I see it. And so that's my 2 cents into Metaverse. Thank you for being with me. I can't believe an hour went by just like that. And I want to thank you for being here with your comments. I want to thank you for your experience that you shared with us. And I want to wish you the best rest of your day. Until next time, bye. Dela's Voice has been made possible by the generosity of sponsors like you.